With the newest Puppet Master Doktor Death out, we got 15 movies here to rank. So before we get ourselves started here, if you've seen all 15 of these movies, or even if you've only seen some of these movies, give me a comment down below. How would you rank all 15 of these, or the ones that you have actually seen? Okay, let's get ourselves started. Number 15, the worst of the Puppet Master franchise, is Puppet Master Access Termination. Now, why is this my worst? Is because this is a very slow, boring movie. I really hated what the direction they went in here. I hated the script. I hated the story. I didn't actually care for any of the actors. The good guys, the bad guys. The bad guys were more silly than scary. They tried to be scary. Didn't come out that way there. I thought the puppets were wasted. The good puppets and the bad puppets. Went back to the drawing board and came up with something a lot better. I just think this was such a waste of a film here. Number 14 is going to be Puppet Master 5. Now, this is also connected with 4, where you will see that one a lot higher on my list here. Now, with this one, the people who survived in 4 come back in this one, which is Rick and Susie. And I feel like they had like nothing to really do in this. This whole story was Rick accidentally tells the wrong person about these puppets, gets a couple henchmen, goes to the hotel looking for the puppets. Rick and Susie have to go there to try to save the puppets. And you also get like your little creatures from the 4th one, which are also killing everybody that they can. And it does take a long time for a death to get in here. So it's just like, it's so slow and boring, like Access Termination. You don't care for the villains. You just don't care for anybody in this movie. I'm like, this is one of those ones I'm kind of like this almost sometimes watching the movie there. Number 13 is Puppet Master The Legacy. Yes, this is the clip show one. Yes, I still enjoy it a little bit better than most people, but this has gone down one spot. I definitely like the new footage, which is only about 12 or 13 minutes, with this older gentleman talking to a female assassin who's trying to get the formula. He starts telling the story about Toulon. That's where we get all our clip stuff. I think those two do a good job. I think some of the clips are pretty good there, which is pretty much talking about from the very first one all the way to Retro Puppet Master there. Some of the clips I like, some of the ones I'm like, especially when it comes to certain movies I'm not the biggest fan of there. But that's the best I can really go for this one. Number 12 is going to be Curse of the Puppet Master. Yes, this has actually gone up 2 spots because on my last viewing, I've actually been a lot more entertained with this one here. I really still like Dr. McGrew. But one thing that has changed is one of the characters is named Robin. He's kind of the mentally challenged kid that starts working with the doctor. I think he's actually done a lot better. I like his certain reactions to certain things that actually happen. Wondering if it's in real life or possibly it's a dream. You never know what's going on, so I like that. But with anybody else, with the doctor's daughter, the asshole friend, and there's like 2 cops in this small little town. Personally, I don't care for them, don't like their acting. Very, very bad. But I will also say that when there is gore, they really do go for it. Maybe not compared to other movies, but they do go for it, and I do actually enjoy that. Number 11 is the original Puppet Master. Well, some of the stuff I really do like about it is I think the acting is really good. For their first attempt at a Puppet Master movie, I do give them a lot of credit. It's directed very well. I love the script. Very creepy when it needs to be in this hotel. The puppets do a good job when they do show them. I mean, they're not in it that much, unfortunately, with this first one here. And definitely, what happens in Act 3 is definitely one of my all-time favorite things. But on the flip side, and this is the biggest thing, is that, okay, there's evil all going around in this hotel. You get 4 psychics. I repeat, 4 psychics in here, and not any of them can tell that there's evil going on. There's one of them that actually has premonitions, but he never says anything to anybody else. He always keeps it to himself there. And all of a sudden it's like, you not want to tell anybody this is what's going on and maybe we should get the hell out of here kind of thing. But unfortunately, it does not. And Number 10 is Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys. Now, what I actually enjoy about this movie is Corey Feldman's character, the one who plays his daughter. They both actually work together very well. There's this silly cop who Corey Feldman actually has a crush on there. The first time I didn't really care for her, but this time I actually didn't really have too much of a problem, maybe because I knew what to expect about her. And Baby Oopsie Daisy from the Demonic Toy side is really good. Now on the flip side, the first thing I gotta say is I'm not a big fan of how the puppets actually look in this one, but this is probably not the original Charles Band puppets. This is a sci-fi original. They probably, got permission to use some of them, but they probably still had their own ways and all that there. And some of the designs they came up with, I didn't really care for. The other two characters on the Demonic Toy side, I didn't really care for. Not that memorable. Same thing with the human villains. Didn't really care for them that much. And there's a long stretch in Act 2 that really takes a long time. Number 9 is Puppet Master the Littlest Rank. Now, this is the bloodiest out of all of the Puppet Master movies. I love all the acting, from your main character to the love interest to the main character's best friend to this Asian waitress to the bartender, who I think is definitely the highlight. You don't really see him a whole lot in this movie, but when you do, he does steal the show here. This is definitely one of the balls to the walls kind of movies, talking about gore again, as it does not matter who it kills, between man, woman, or child. It just goes for it there. I love it. But on the flip side, the big thing I gotta say is, how can you actually cheer for the evil puppets in Evil Toulon? Now, yes, there is another one I haven't talked about yet where Toulon was also bad, and I guess I kind of forgive it a little bit there, but how can you really go for that? And I also am not really a huge fan of the design of the puppets in this one here too. Number 8 is Blade the Iron Cross. Yes, this has actually gone up 2 spots. I really definitely enjoy our main character, who is also the same actress from Access Termination, which I thought she was bad in that one with her acting, but in this one she does a damn good job. There's Lieutenant Joe. I think he's really very funny when he needs to actually be. I just kind of like his dialogue between him and our main character here. Everybody else does a really good job, at least passable on their acting. The villains this time around, I actually did have a lot more fun. Act 3 was really good. But on the flip side, it's really with Blade. First off, there are some times that they have Blade CGI, not a big fan of that there. And also, for him having his own movie, he's only sprinkled in here and there, especially in Act 1 and Act 2. And honestly, it's Act 3 when he really does shine.